We're 3 weeks away. Every team in the SWAC has upgraded their personnel in every facet of their teams. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching staffs. Everybody's ready to get out here and put their best foot forward. There's been some folks that's been dubbed. Who's going to come out the SWAC as number one in the East and the West? One team in particular, Alabama State. They got the bullseye on their back. They got the vote saying that they're going to be the number one team coming out of the SWAC East this season. But at one point in time, I think head coach Eddie Robb had one of them aha moments over the past couple of years and figured he's going to go back and do something that he didn't keep together the first time, but going to try to make it right because he honestly feels his team is ready to make a run. We're going to talk about exactly what that is right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, I'm about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in the free to tell them to come on in. It's double positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump on out here on this thing because I know you're like, Coach, what you got going on? Hey, look, man. Y'all, hey, I would tell you right now, y'all, I gotta just say this. I love y'all. I do. Wholeheartedly, I love y'all, boy. Hey, coach, trying to get this thing together, boy. Get ready to do these nuptials next. So I'm trying to get everything rocking and rolling, pushing forward so we can get this thing popped because football season starts in 2 weeks with the MEAC SWAC Challenge between Norfolk State University and FAMU. We're going to see how that's going to take off in Atlanta, Georgia. There's going to be some great football in that game. But one thing for certain, two things for sure. As we get closer to the season, coaches are making sure they have everything shored up as far as their playmakers, their players on the team, because the grind is getting ready to start. It's going to be a crazy season. We're going to see competition week in and week out. There's no more easy weeks. You're starting to see teams that before you had an easy way with that team, or better yet, you want to make them your homecoming, thinking that you're going to get an easy win. This year, I think it's going to be some teams that you thought was going to be your homecoming. You may end up being theirs, especially if they come to your school to play you on homecoming. You might end up being a little upset because they done came in here and pulled off something that you didn't expect. But looking at how I got to be honest, guys, the preseason. These preseason awards got folks really just turned up. And from the standpoint, it brought on conversation that, conversation could be a little sensitive from, here and there based on who we're talking about. And you just got to be honest with what's going on because of the fact that people are going to give their opinions based on the work of an athlete out there on the field. And if that body of work is not put together in the manner in which, some folks want to project, particular athletes to be, then yeah, it's gonna be red flags and questions that's gonna be out there. And I think Coach Eddie Robinson is looking at something here that he want to make sure when the team start off in the Oscar Classic, I honestly believe he's trying to make sure the team is ready to get out there and compete for the long haul and not come up short. And it leads me back to his first year when he came into Alabama State and he had D. Davis and Miles Crowley as quarterback. Miles Crowley was already there with the program, making sure that he was out there fundamentally getting himself ready and prepared to lead the Hornets out there onto the field of battle when the season started. Coach Eddie Robb, of course, like other coaches, they're going to go find their guy. It's clearly understood that new head coaches normally go find their quarterback that they want to come in and lead the team. And a lot of times that quarterback is not the quarterback that's currently there within the program. And it's understood because I always had that philosophy of if a coach didn't come to your house, sit on your couch and recruit you, 9 times out of 10, he may be getting ready to move away from you. So you have to make sure you put yourself in position to do the things that you need to do to show that coach that you're more than capable of doing everything that is expected of you that he's looking for. And I'm not saying that Crowley didn't do that, but D. Davis coming from Auburn University, you know, the Houston phenomenon, playing high school football, you know, if you had the opportunity to really bring the young man and take a, you know, get an assessment of what he was able to do, yeah, you would take a look at it. But things didn't go in the manner in which everyone expected him to. He transferred out transferred out this spring. Crowley has been gone now for a little bit over a year over at Grambling State. And he had a phenomenal season last year, Crowley did, which I'm sure many people did not expect to see that from him. But the young man could definitely spin that ball if he's given the opportunity to get out there on the field and do what he needs to do. But, I say that because it reminded me back of the game where they played in Atlanta, Georgia in the SWAC Challenge where D. Davis went out the game. This first season, D. Davis went out of the game with cramps in his leg, I believe. I think he had leg cramps or something or another. And because it was hot as all get up out there on the field. You get Miles Crowley coming there, and I'm talking about first play, he gunned one down the field, 60-yard pass, one of the prettiest balls you could ever imagine being thrown out there to a receiver who should have still be running. This kid should still be running for touchdown after touchdown, but he got caught from behind and got tackled, I think, like on the 10-yard line, 10 or 8-yard line. They came back out and punched the ball in after, and on the next play, I think they came in and scored. They ended up beating Howard in that game. But I say all of that to say, looking at what's going on this season, you got Andrew Body, again, coming into the program for Texas Southern University. He's coming in off of a year being off from shoulder injury that he had. The young man is ready to get out here and compete, show everybody what he can do out here in the field. There are a lot of naysayers out here that thinking that, hey, you got to show me what you got. And there's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, football is a game of what have you done for me lately? Have you been able to get out here and do the things that I require of you to show me that you can beat me, or better yet, you can lead my team week in and week out and get us wins? That's what they're looking forward to seeing from this young man this season. However, you got to be smart with this. Like I stated before, it's going to be a long season. So you want to make sure you have someone else just in case there's a hiccup. Coach ain't trying to burn no bread on nobody and say nothing negative. I'm just simply stating the obvious when it comes down to playing this sport that everybody loves to talk about, compete in, and do whatever it is that they do, having a good time. When it comes to getting out there on the field, you want to make sure you got your best foot forward, doing the things that you need to do to lead your team. If by chance you have the bad game, you need somebody to come in there to bail you out because you need to get that win, guess what? You got to have a solidified backup that's going to come in that boy and make sure things, they're able to take control of what's happening and continue to keep moving that team forward. Now, what Coach Eddie Robb did, like I said before, he looked at that situation previously and said, you know what? I'm not going to put myself in this hole again. I got to make sure I got a signal caller that's going to be in this thing with me along with Body, and the other quarterback, any other quarterbacks that they may have there in the fold that they can put out there on the field, they're going to be able to lead the team. This young man is coming in, Jonah O'Brien, grad transfer from Eastern Illinois. This young man, I believe he may have 2 years of eligibility left. Now, one thing I like about this young man is even though his playing time has been, was cut short, he got injured, I think, 2019. He was having a phenomenal season. The young man was averaging his passing completion was 64%. I think the young man had through 7 games. I think it was like 863 yards, something to that effect. It was over 800 yards that the young man had through for in that game. I mean, not in the game, but in the season. And looking at this young man's ability from a completion percentage standpoint makes sense. Leads me to believe that he's not going to be careless or sloppy with the ball. Now, I would say that he's a solid pickup because he's one that's going to make sure when the windows are open for him to throw the ball to receivers, he's going to get that ball there on time for them to catch the pass. Now, it's just going to be up to the receivers, making sure that they don't drop balls out there on the field when those passes are thrown to them. Now, the last season, I know a lot of you going to go back and say, well, Coach, he didn't do much last season. From what I'm seeing, the young man played within 2 games last season. He didn't have any stats to show for his time out there on the field. But again, a lot of times when you're looking at athletes coming into the program that's going to be there, is going to help uplift or make a quarterback compete, you want to bring athletes into the program that can very well possibly come in and start if something happens. I think this was a good pickup by Alabama State to make sure that they have the necessary pieces at the quarterback position for them to move forward to, possibly fulfill the votes that they got for them to be the #1 team when all the smoke is cleared at the end of the season. Saying, hey, Alabama State is coming out the East as the SWAC champions. So now we're going to see exactly what they do if they can get themselves to Atlanta and make it happen. Now, there's a lot of football that's got to be played. There's been a lot of football being played on paper. And right now, none of that matters. The preseason awards don't matter. None of that stuff matters right now. Only thing that matters is the productivity that's out there on the field and the wins and how many wins you got in the win column and how many losses you got. I honestly feel this is going to be a competitive season because there's a lot of a lot of programs within the SWAC that has something to prove to not only to themselves, but to all the naysayers out there that's been talking trash saying they are not who they say they are. But guys, I got to give it up to Coach Eddie Robinson on making that decision to say, hey, I'm going to go get me another quarterback that's going to come in here and be a part of this program as far as what's going on. This young man is not a new addition like he came in a couple weeks ago. This young man has been in the program for a while. Just another athlete that was overlooked. Yeah, they got a couple of extras over there that's kind of flying under the radar that nobody's really paying attention to. But I just wanted to go ahead and shine a light on that because I did see an article on, thinking about Mr. Kyle on Sports Illustrated that kind of led me to, take a look at this and see what's going on because I'm like, wait a minute, let's look at this in the manner which we need to get a better understanding of exactly what coach is looking to do over there. I want to make sure I find that article right quick. Hold on. HBCUs on Sports Illustrated by Kyle Mosley. Like I said, another phenomenal journalist that's putting out some great content. Like I said, go check him out over there as well. I think he got a podcast also, so check him out with that also. But yeah, I like that article that he wrote, but I want to just look at things from a different perspective as far as what's going on. So we're going to see exactly how everything takes off. I know y'all like, Coach, wait a minute, you ain't talked about my school and quarterback. Don't worry, I'm going to get to you. We got a little time left. Coach going to come talk about a couple more folks, and we're going to put it out there so everybody can see what's happening. But, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.